thought I'd do something different today. I wanted to show you this book, and this book is on gardening, and it's a vegetable gardening handbook, and it is by the Old Farmer's Almanac. And we normally go by the Old Farmer's Almanac, and you can probably see on the back of it a little picture right there of it. And so pretty much every year we go by it, but the planting, how the plant, not actually how to plant, but when to plant from the full moon and stuff like that. So a lot of people have done that for years. And for years we never went out and bought these books. We just done everything from experience, from doing it because I've been doing it for many, many years. And so I said, well, let's just pick up a couple books to see. Now we're selling vegetable plants. We sell vegetable plants. And, every once in a while you'll get somebody come in and they'll say, hey, what type of soil should I use? How would I test it? What does it produce? How much it produces? How long does it take it to, how many days does it take it to start producing? And you got to know some of that stuff. You can't just turn around and sell them something that they don't know. So we were picking up some more books in the last couple of years, and we decided to go ahead and get some more of them and just see what we can do with them. And then that way we can take what we know and what other people know and put it together and make sure we try to give everybody the right information. You want to try your best to help people out, because I think it's a really good thing to teach people how to grow, especially a garden or flowers, or just basically grow. But times are going to get harder and harder here. We all know from our budget, our paychecks, that it's getting smaller and smaller when we go out and buy groceries. So, but if you put in a garden, it's going to be, and do it every year, you're going to cut that cost down once you learn how to do it. It's not hard. It's very simple. It takes a little bit of work. You can do it anywhere. I don't care what people think. You can grow anywhere, even if it's in a big city. It doesn't matter. You put them in buckets, put them in pots. You know what I'm saying? You can grow them inside your house. But I wanted to show you this little book. I'm not being sponsored by these guys, with anything, but I thought it was a really nice book for people to learn. And to me, I think it's easy. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. All right, let me get my glasses. Okay, what you can see, this is what it looks like here. Okay. Now, I thought was really interesting. Of course, it's, when I look at the nice green color, it's got little suns on it. Here's the beginning of it and the contents. Now, the contents is pretty cool, because some of the things in the contents I thought was really cool is that one was real important is the soil test, and then my soil pH, and it tells you what page you're on. So those are really important. And also, I thought was real important. A lot of people make a mistake is the water contents, how much water that each one of your plants should have. And I thought that was really good, because there's not too many books that I actually seen out there, that had that in there. And then also has where you put, maybe you might put. I always try to keep my tomato plants away from everything else, but what plants to grow beside each other. Okay, now it comes into, let me get that back in the picture here. There we go. It comes into the ground rules, okay. How to get started, okay, it's real simple, how to get started here. Let me get that in a little bit closer. Yes, how to get started. That's a really cool thing. And then here, it actually tells you, like, the U.S. frost. It'll say the U.S. frost and growing season. And then, of course, and here it's really hard to see, but it actually tells you, like, the last spring frost, and then it'll tell you the last, well, this would be the first fall frost. So it'll actually tell you when you first start to plant, when the frost is the end of it, and then when you're done at the end of the year, say like in November or something, like, it depends on what your zone, because you have to know your zone, okay. You look that up online, there's a map of your zone, and that will tell you. That's how you do it. And then, of course, it tells you about the freezing, okay. We don't worry about the tolls, what I'm saying. This here gives you a little correction on what you need to do with not to put straw, well, actually hay in your garden, that to use straw, because straw is a lot different. I mean, it doesn't compact like hay does. Hay compacts and can turn into mold, hold too much moisture, or you know, maybe not enough. But they normally use straw. Okay. I've heard of people using hay, but if you don't have anything, you can probably use grass clippings. Excuse me. This is how much, you know, for mulch, gardening. Your gardening contest. Let's see, let's go up here a little bit further. Now, there is some places in here I thought was really interested in. The basic potting mix, and it gives you like an ingredients that you can do. You can literally make your own potty mix without going out and buying it. I mean, because it's just ridiculous to go spend that kind of money when you can just make your own and have the best for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make your own compost, things like that. If you're going to get into gardening, you might as well do it full force. Okay, this is how you start with your soil. It gives you some examples. You know, testing different things in your soil. Let's see, let's go up a little bit further because this book's really big. This is really cool here because you have a couple pages. Throughout the book, you're going to have a few places here where you can write down some things like, you know, your dates, you know, when you're going to test your soil, what the soil is, what the pH is in your soil. That's really cool. Soil test texture, and of course, you know, there's a little, let me get that in the picture, a little chart right here tells you, it'll tell you about the clay, how much clay you got, you know, how sandy your soil and stuff is. That's really cool. Okay, and then how to fix it, soil fixer here, how you can fix it. So if you got too much clay, you might want to add a little bit of sand, you know what I'm saying, or some extra topsoil or something like that, you know what I mean, to break that up, because if it's too much clay, then your plants are not going to get any water. Okay, but then if you got too much sand and your ground's too moist, I mean, it might drown your plants. So yes, you might have to haul in some dirt or something, you know what I'm saying. Your pH, your soil pH, you get to test it, and it tells you where, say like cabbage here, for instance, cabbage say 6:1, 6.0, 7.5. You know, if you got a soil tester, it'll tell you on a soil tester, and each one of them tell you exactly, you know, what your plants can handle with the pH. And you'll know that if you have to put potassium with it, or you know, or you know, or something like that. Here, how to make the most out of compost. You know, got earthworms, things like that. Really nice. Compost planner. You get to go through that. So these, like I said, this book has. Get this page. I guess this book has a lot of different. A lot of different things that you can go through. I mean, there's a lot of information in this such a small book. Look at here, my favorite veggies. Okay, so that's what's nice about it. You can write down, well, I like tomatoes, I like green peppers, you know, I like green beans, you know what I mean, and just on and on and on. When you plant your garden, you know, just try to stay with the basics. When you do it your first year, try not to go out and buy a whole mess of seeds and go, well, you know, I want, or plants or seeds, and say, I want to put this in and put this in and put this and put this in, because you just don't learn with all the different varieties of plants at one time. You really need to go out and just go, well, what's the basic that we normally like to eat? And, you know, like say, some people like bush beans. I like beets. Beets, because beets are really good for your blood pressure. Carrots. Onions, you know, things like that. Just a basic. Don't put too much in for your first time. Take your time, because you'll just get everything all confused and everything. And then you'll go, well, I don't like the plant, or you know, or my plants didn't come up because you're paying attention to too many. How to start your seeds. Awesome thing here. I mean, I got it marked because I'm going back and look again. I've been planting seeds for many years, but I do want to compare what they're doing. How to do certain things like cucumbers, what temperature, you know, if they like the fall or they like the spring, because you got cold plants and you got, you know, warm plants like a tomatoes, or like a warm plant, and then cold plant could be a cabbage or collar or something like that. That's a cold plant. So and then a certain time of the year it'd be best to plant it, you know what I'm saying? So if you, you know, if you plant them like cabbage when it's really hot outside, it just has a lot of problems. You know, it ends up with a lot of bugs and stuff like. But there's plants you can put around your plants, your pepper plants and your tomato plants and things like that can keep them pests down. There's a lot of different things. And of course, it shows you how to do your seeds. Be real patient. If you put seeds in, wait for them, keep them watered, keep them warm. I can't. This book, like I said, I haven't even went with it maybe once. Just skip through it. The boost of the roots. So you know what you can do about getting better roots in your, you know, for your plants. My seed starting record. Okay. Get back here a little bit further. Still have a problem opening these. Let's see here. When to plant. That's another. Like I said, the book is just full of great information. You know what I'm saying? Even like here, I mean, there's ground rules. This is really awesome part of the book. And one thing about the book is to find out where each one of your plants can grow beside each other, because you just can't throw them in a garden and go, hey, you know, they don't seem to grow beside each other the way you think they do, because they're a vegetable plant. Some plants are like, you know, they might not be able to tolerate the next plant beside it. Like tomatoes are probably the most irritating plant there is for me, is the tomatoes, because tomatoes just basically like to be by themselves. That's the way I see it, but other people probably see different on it. Different types of herbs. Now I think this is important to learn, is the different types of herbs you can put in your garden to keep down the bugs. I think that's a big thing now. And you know, and it's very expensive to put some of this in to help out your plant. Plus, you know, if you do your herbs, you can always dehydrate them if you have a dehydrator, and you know, make some tea and different things like that. It's really nice. I mean, it's really healthy for you. We normally do like dill. We got mint. We also have a wild mint I picked out of the woods. Believe it or not, there's wild mint out there. People don't pay much attention to the wild mint. You know, but it's there. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here we go. There's herbs in the garden, and now to the vegetables. Now, what I thought was kind of cool in some of this stuff was I still like the watering tablet or table. Okay, beets. Beets are really good. We do beets every year. We love to eat beets. Beets are very good for you. Actually, good for your blood, good for your blood pressure. You know, and we'll take these and we'll grow them, and then we'll just bring them home, put them in a juicer, and we'll make us, you know, a cup of beet juice. You know, and if you go in the store and buy beet juice, it's very, very expensive. So to learn to grow some of those, you know, some of those vegetables, that's very good for you. I mean, you know, keep your eye open what this stuff here is going to cost you within the next couple of years anyway. It's got disease and pest, when to harvest and store. So it's going to tell you some information over here, and you know, what the beets don't mind having, like you know, what they're related to, different types of plants that beets are related to, which that's really, I mean, I'm just blown away by the you know, the incredible information that this thing has. Brussels sprouts. My wife loves Brussels sprouts, and you can do, you know, we love steaming them. We'll just steam them. Just put them in a steamer and just eat them like that. Don't put nothing on them. Just eat them. They're really, really good for you. Okay, and then carrots. You know how many things carrots are good for you. So it's got a good, a lot of stuff on carrots here. How to go ahead and pertain your carrots and get them to grow, and when to cut your cabbages. A lot of people don't understand that. They think you just go out and cut it because it looks like, you know, it's ready to go, and how to cut them. So there is a big way. I mean, there's a way for all that. And the same thing. Here's cauliflower. Cauliflower is another one too. You know, of course, cauliflower. You know, if it gets too much sun, this part here turns all yellow. Of course, you got to take the leaves and pull them up and then tie the leaves. A lot of people don't know that. You know, you tie them. And then, let's see what else. This is celery. I mean, I'll bring it up. I'm using too much time here. Let me get up further in the book here. Corn. Cucumbers. Everybody loves the cucumbers. Now, I think cucumbers, Boston cucumbers, you could, they're a pickling cucumber. You know, they're a lot of people like the Boston cucumbers because you pickle them. And then let's see what else we got in here. Eggplants. I'm not real big on eggplants. I've ate them growing up. Let me see. Let's see if I can find something. Now we do kale every year, so I mean that's another really good vitamin K. Your vitamins, a lot of vitamins in kale, a lot of vitamins. Let's see. No, we don't do none of that. No, don't do none of those. Onions. We plant onions. I'm trying to do more and more improvement on my onions every year because it seems like every year I end up getting a different type of onion to plant, and it just kind of screws what I've been doing. Let's see. This just keeps going, but I mean peas, how they, growing them and how to put them on, what to do with them and stuff. Potatoes. I mean, there's a whole thing on potatoes here. I mean, it just keeps going. When to harvest and store your pumpkins. Now pumpkins, there's a little, pumpkins is a little bit different too. I mean, how you, before you cut them, how you cut them. And there's like a little sign on the stem that you have to watch for when you do your pumpkins, before you cut them. And it tells you when they're ready. Watermelons is pretty much the same way. They all have their own little way, Radishes is really good. I don't eat none of these things. Okay, now, let me see if I can just move up in the book here. Okay, here's this is what I wanted to show you right here. I think this is so important when it comes to gardening. And this is how much water is enough. And basically what it tells you in this, and it tells you that each one of your plants, say like, let's go with the beets, so I like beets. Before soil gets bone dry, that's basically what it's telling you in there. Let's see if I can get it in there. See what I'm saying? It's actually telling you when to water, and even with your small plants that you start with seed, everybody seems to have that problem about waiting to, watering too much or not water enough. In this book here, very good. I mean, some of the stuff I didn't know, but I can change on it, maybe to improve what I've been doing for, 30 years. But this is fabulous for somebody to start out. I mean, it literally tells you, when, and actually tells you on the side over here too what to do. Water only when very dry to keep plants growing. And some plants have to have a lot of water, some plants don't. If you give a plant too much water, then it's just gonna, go wild, or it could end up with a disease in it. So watering is just such a big thing to learn how to do that, and it's in this book. Okay, that's basically what it is. That's about all there is. My seed saving record. So at the end of the year, you can tell how much, you can write down what seeds you saved with a date and stuff on them. So that to keep records of everything you do in a garden is so important because every year it gets you get better and better at doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're looking for a nice little book, I would suggest this book right here and take a look at it. You can look it up online and just see what other people are talking about it. If anybody else, likes this book. But I highly recommend it. I mean, somebody starting out. I think it's easy to read and it's also easy to follow. And a lot of things make a lot of sense in it for somebody like me doing it for so many years. And of course, I'm going to learn a lot too from it. Like I said, me and my wife have been buying these books. Like I said, the first time we've ever bought them. But like I said, me and my wife, we've been buying these books. We got just a bunch of we've been, picking up here and there, and learning a lot more about, planting, just different things, especially, some of the plants and herbs and stuff like that. Even what's in the woods, because. One year we picked up some chicken of the woods. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it's a big mushroom that grows out in the woods, big old thing. But there's a lot of cool things out there. So if you want to learn how to plant, this might be a good thing for you to do. You can just decide on your own. And but I do highly recommend it if somebody wants to pick up a gardening book for the first time. So if you got any comments, just leave them down below and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching.